this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Bundy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tattletales. Thank you for tuning us in. Nice to have you with us today. Let's get things rolling, shall we? We got three wonderful couples. They're going to win all these people lots of money. Right, gang? You said it. Here they are. Winning money today for the blue section from a Happy Days, Mr. Pat Morita and his wife, Yuki. And a good afternoon to you both.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Are you ready to go, sir?
So far?
So far.
Yes.
So far, so good?
As long as we don't go all the way back there to the old country, it'll
yes.
be all right. Yes.
Something's a little confusing here, but I'm not going to press it.
Yuki,
are you ready to go, dear?
Right, ready.
Okay, here we go. Winning money today for the banana section, the star first baseman from the Los Angeles Dodgers and his beautiful wife, Mr. Steve Garvey, and his wife, Cindy. And good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
And this is it, eh?
Yeah, see?
Here we go. The accents are going crazy here. Cindy, are you ready to go, dear?
I guess.
I guess, okay. Winning money today for the red section from MASH, Mr. Mike Farrell and his wife, Judy. All right. If you are ready, Mike and Judy, I am ready, and here we go.
Ready.
All set. First question worth $150, ladies. It is for you. Now, we know this could never happen. Oh, look out when we do that. What is it going to say? But if your husband were to have an affair with another woman, would you prefer it to be with a single woman, a recently divorced woman, or a married woman? Off you go, ladies. We'll see in a moment. What will Yuki say to this one, Pat?
A dead woman.
Well, that'd probably make two of you, wouldn't it?
At least. I think she'd probably say a single woman.
A single woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any particular reason why, Pat?
She'd probably have more money than the other two.
Not necessarily.
Well, the single woman I marry will have to.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't even know how I got into this mess. Thank God we know about Harry Carey and stuff, because this is this is one of those kind of questions.
I put you in the mess. That's how you got into it. You'll say that Yuki will say with a single woman she'd prefer. Yeah.
I guess. Oh, yes.
He's not too clear, but I think that's what we got. It's bring her on. Here she comes. Yuki, we know this could never happen, Yuki, but
Such a stimulating question.
What's that?
Such a stimulating question.
Yes, we hope so. Well, would you rather that he have this imaginary affair with a single woman, a recently divorced woman, or a married woman?
I think for it to be less of a hassle for him, it should be with a single woman.
That's what he said. Gee, that's nice to know. I think it's rather sweet of Yuki, don't you, Pat?
It's very big of me.
She doesn't want you to have a hassle, so... Thank you, Pat. Steve, what will Cindy say?
That is a tough one. I think we'll follow the same guidelines, though, and stick with a single woman. I think she'll want the poor girl to suffer a little bit. I don't know what she's getting in for.
Okay.
But, let's try single.
You'll say a single woman. That's surprising in some ways, isn't it? Well, let's find out. Let's see what she says when she comes. Cindy, Steve's going to have an imaginary affair, of course. With this woman, would you rather she be single, recently divorced, or married?
None of the above.
Would you rather she be?
I'm going to think very logical on this. I'd rather so there weren't children or other parties involved, and I could handle it one-on-one, single.
That's it. You got it. Oh, there's a good reason. Yeah, your reason's okay. Okay, thank you. That's very, very logical and very good reasoning, and now you know all about it, don't you, Steve? Okay, Mike, what will Judy say?
Yes, now we know all about it. Yeah,
one-on-one. I think that's a basketball phrase, however, isn't it?
Following that logic, I think I'll figure Judy will say a single woman. And could we arrange for it to be the same woman?
No, that would be 3 women, not a single woman. Sorry about that. You say that Judy will say a single
woman, right.
Okay, here we go. You're turning hostile. All right, Judy, what will it be? Now, he's having this affair. Of course, it's an imaginary thing. Would you prefer it, however, to be a single woman, a recently divorced woman, or a married woman?
Single woman.
That's it. They all got it. I thought it would be harder than that, but you handle it easily. We'll split it 3 ways. We'll come back in a moment and split a whole bunch more. Won't you join us? See you in just a moment. Don't go away.
If at first you flop,
We call this program the Second Chance.
get a second chance to shop
Go, James.
on Supermarket Sweep Redemption Week specials. Buzzer's Black Friday Frenzy. Friday starting at 4. Only on Buzzer.
They've wised up. Here we go. Question number 2 coming. This is it. Ladies, we have a 3-way tie. You handled that one beautifully. This is another one. Think back to when you were a teenager daydreaming about the type of man that you were going to marry. Did your husband turn out to be that type? Now, you got to remember that you might have talked this over with your husband at one time. So if you say yes, ideally, and all of that, it may not be how it really was. So think it over, because he probably will remember. Off you go, ladies. And we'll start with you, Steve. Are you the
This one
man?
could decide who goes home in the taxi and who goes home in the car.
It says daydreaming as a teenager about the type of man she was going to marry.
Well, we've talked before, and she used to date tall, good-looking guys. And that's why I think she'll say I'm the guy that... It's my yellow section. She'll say I'm the guy that was in her dreams.
Yes, you are the type of the guy that
I
she
just
used
hope
to...
they haven't gone up in smoke. No. Okay.
Let's just hope they haven't turned to nightmares. Okay, here she comes. Shh. We're asking you to think back now. Cindy, when you daydreamed as a teenager about the type of man you're going to marry, did Steve turn out to indeed be that type?
I always had crushes on tall, blonde, tan people that didn't move. My father moved us around a lot, and I didn't want to marry anyone that moved, so I'd have to say no.
That's not what Steve said. But I think you'll both find that very interesting to discuss later.
I guess.
Steve is now sitting here
He knows that.
with his glove in his mouth, as a matter of fact.
The yellow section stands for taxi, and I'm taking it right now. I'm sure.
See? But
Oh, what did he say?
well, he said a tall, dark, handsome fellow like himself, that he qualified perfectly.
That's true. That
It
was
is?
when I got over my teenage fantasies.
Yes, well, but we said teenage fantasy, so you answered
That's
it right.
true, I know.
I'm sorry, you're still wrong.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Mike, what will Judy say?
Judy's changed a lot. But she had... Her first and greatest crush was on Farley Granger,
Right.
who was and is an actor.
Yes, and a very fine
an
one.
actor, right? So,
True.
the logic follows that I qualify.
That you're the kind of guy that she
Right.
was dreaming about when she was a teenager.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Ha!
Now, wait a minute. What's our answer? You or Farley Granger? Oh, the answer is yes. The
Yes.
answer is yes. Yes, you did turn out to be that type.
Yeah.
Okay, here she comes now. Judy, you're a teenager. You're daydreaming about the type of man you're going to marry. Did Mike turn out to be the same type?
The same type?
No, I shouldn't say that. It says here, did your husband turn out to be that type? The type of man that you were going to marry?
Oh, I was a lot different when I was a teenager. No, not the same type.
That's not what he said. So far, we ain't doing so good, are we, guys? What type did you daydream about?
It was just totally, when I was a teenager, it was totally unrealistic. Only have eyes for me, carry me off on the white charger, that sort of thing.
That sort of thing.
Just unrealistic. Mike
Does
is
the name
more
Farley
real.
Ring a bell?
How did you know that? Did he tell you that?
We know everything about you, Judy.
You read my diary.
He mentioned that because as an actor, Farley was you daydreamed about Farley Granger, and of course you
When I
married
was
an actor.
12 years old.
Right, and you've got an actor now.
Well, there
you
is
go.
that.
Wrong anyway. Sorry about that. Nobody's got it right, Pat. What will Yuki say?
I don't come anywhere near her ideal that she thought about. But I come close to my ideal.
Yeah.
But she
When she was a teenager daydreaming, you think that you turned out to be that type. Is that it, Pat? Wrong. You didn't turn out to be that type.
All the way far from it.
Yeah? You got me so confused altogether now. All right, you're going to say, no, you are not the type.
No.
Okay, here she comes. Yuki, when you were a teenager daydreaming about the type of man that you were going to marry, did Pat turn out to be that type?
I don't think so. He was really the exact antithesis of what I wanted.
That's what he said. You're right. Yuki, what is the type that you did want?
Well, I wanted a guy that was more active in social affairs at the time, and social conscience, a well-developed social conscience. And
you married a hermit instead.
Then I married a man who was very into his own thing.
Right, I understand. Well, nevertheless, you won the whole pot for the blue section. They're glad you got married.
Wow.
You got the whole thing. And it's halftime. If you fellas will step to the rear, we'll bring the ladies out front, and then we shall return with the second half of Tattletales. We're finding out this today.
Season.
Hello, we've just changed places after halftime. I have these beautiful ladies with me. This is our regular $150 question, is it? Yes, okay. Fellas, if you're ready to go, Steve, you and Mike got to play a little catch-up to Pat and Yuki. They got the money at the moment.
We're
Men,
ready.
at a party, two people get into an argument. One is a male chauvinist pig, and the other is a militant women's libber. Now, we know you probably don't agree completely with either of these extremists, but if you were dragged into this argument, whose side would you be more likely to be on, his or hers? Oh boy, we got you here. Think it over, fellas. We'll come back and find out. Did I make clear, Judy? There's an argument at a party between a man and a woman, obviously. One is a male chauvinist, the other is a woman's libber. If he had to get dragged, he gets dragged in. Which side is he more likely to get dragged in on?
He wouldn't have to get dragged in.
He'd jump in, eh?
Oh, he loves to get in. It would definitely be the women's libber. He would be
Really?
more.
Against the male chauvinist. It's a militant women's libber. Remember, it's not, these are extremes on both sides, really militant on both sides. The women's libber.
Absolutely.
Okay, here he comes now. All right, you're at the party. There is really a heated argument going on. The one guy is really a male chauvinist pig, and the lady is really a militant women's libber. You're going to get dragged in. Which side are you more likely to get on?
I'll be on her side.
That's it. You got it. I would like to say how come, but obviously you feel very strongly about it, Mike.
Oh, yeah, very definitely. I was just about to say not that she'd need me on her side, but...
Yes, right. She probably hits her with her purse when you stepped in there.
No, she can just handle herself.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And we're going to come right on down to Yuki. What will Pat do?
Well, I think over the years, Pat's views have liberalized a lot, and even with the extremes, I think he would buck for the women's libber any day.
He would, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very
interesting how things are changing and going. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Let's see what he says.
He's married to one.
Is he? All right. That's probably why. Shh. Here he comes. Pat, there's a violent argument going on. I mean, it really is some argument. This guy is really a chauvinist, and this lady is really a very militant women's libber. You get dragged in the argument. Whose side are you more likely to jump on? Now, let me rephrase that. Whose side would you be more likely to be on, is what I meant to say.
Well, I've been a male chauvinist all my life, but I would be more curious to know about what she was all about. I would side with the lady.
That's it. That's what she said. You got it. Boy, you're something. You get them all. All right. Cindy, what will Steve do? Whose side will he be on?
He'd probably try to arbitrate him. I think that he'd be more for the woman.
He would, huh?
Yeah, he's so easygoing. I'm sure he would be.
Would, huh? Okay, we'll grumble. Heard a couple of male voices grumble in the banana section. Probably a gorilla or two. All right, you will say
Because I can't see him being down on anyone, and chauvinist, just that word, that's what it means to me.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing here. That's why maybe we don't have the dilemma we should have, because chauvinist has a bad connotations, whereas women's liber is
Why
very
women
acceptable.
is up now.
Yeah, that's up now. All right, let's bring him on, see what he says. Here he comes. Steve, which side are you going to be on now? The women's liber and the male chauvinist are really having a big argument, and you're dragged into it. And we know you may not go for either one of these extremes, but if you had to take a side, whose would you be more likely to be on?
These are pretty down-to-earth questions, aren't they, Bert?
Yeah, this one is.
This is real life. You know, it's again, it's funny that we had a situation where Cindy and I have observed somebody. I don't know if she observed him as much as we did, but this question separated two people, and I would have to take the male viewpoint.
That's interesting because that's not what Cindy said. She said, no, you'd be on the women's liber. You see, you live, you learn. You hang around, you learn, folks. Cindy's in a state of total shock. The banana section ain't too thrilled either. Judy and Mike, Yuki and Pat split the pot in half, gang. What do you think of that? Anybody can still win it, though, and we'll be back in a moment and find out who that's going to be. You come back, too. Surprise, surprise.
Up next on Tattletales, star couples dish up stories about each other. Then it's Password Plus with word associations leading to wins. Stay tuned.
Hi. This question is worth $300, and this will decide the whole issue, and here we go. If you're ready to go, fellas, this is it. Men, generally speaking, does pornography turn you off or on? Generally speaking. Think it over. Goodbye, fellas. Off they go. Woo! Okay, Cindy, we'll start with Steve.
I don't even...
You want to venture a guess on this one?
We got this friend. No. All right, I won't say... I mean, he enjoys pretty women.
Yes.
I'd have to say it turns him more on than off.
More on than off. Right.
More on.
Gee, the banana section doesn't know what to do. And Lord knows I can't help you. Okay, you're going to say, generally speaking, it would turn him more on than off.
Well... All right, wait a minute. You think about it. We got time for me to think this?
Sure. We'll hum to ourselves.
All right, I'll say it turns him off.
Now you're going to change it.
I'll go with my section. I'll go with my section.
Now your section went for that. You let them affect your decision, and that's all right. That's okay because.
No, now that I think about it, I've seen him turn away from things that aren't kosher. I've seen him turn away.
Well, it doesn't have to be kosher, I mean.
Things that aren't, you know.
Yeah. Okay. If we just hang around long enough, we'll go back to the other side. You know, we'll get a yes. You're going to say no. You're going to say no, huh?
I'll say generally no.
Generally no. Okay, that's what the banana section wants. Here he comes. Steve, generally speaking, does pornography turn you off or on?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Would you say a Playboy is pornography?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say that it was classified as pornography at all.
No, not something with a hardbound or something like that then. I mean, you know, covered and so forth.
Well,
I would say that it doesn't turn me on.
That's right. No, wait a minute. What did he say? You said it doesn't turn you on, right? That's right. Okay. I almost didn't understand you correctly there. Sorry about that, Steve. Okay, you got it. Now you still got a chance, too. Because you can still win. Sure. This is a $300 question. Judy, what's Mike going to say to this? If everybody else misses, you got it.
As my son Joshua would say, on. I have to say it would turn him more. You said it would generally have the tendency to...
Turn you off or on?
On.
On.
No, on.
On. She says it like she knows, folks. She says, on. The ons have it. You're going to say on. All right. Here he comes. Mike, generally speaking, does pornography turn you off or on?
Generally speaking, turns me off.
No, that's not what she said. She was positive. She's shocked now. And sorry about that, Mike. She said on. Okay, and the red section agreed. Here we go. All right, everybody hang on. We got a good situation here. Now, Yuki, you and Pat can win this one, which means you will have won every day you've been on the show. If you don't, Cindy and Steve come from $50 and win the whole day.
Okay. Well, to each his own, but I think I know Pat on this. I would really think that it would turn him off. He's not a porno fan.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
it would turn him off.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pat, I don't want to put you under any pressure, of course. This will decide the game. You have won every game that you have been on so far. No one in the history of Tattletales has won every show. The question is, generally speaking, does pornography turn you off or on?
I haven't had any offered lately.
Yeah.
When I was a dirty young man, it used to turn me on a lot, but I've kind of outgrown it. It's off.
That's it! You got it! You win it, and you win them all. Yuki and Pat, Cindy and Steve split the pot in half. Unbelievable. We'll be back in a moment to let you know how much they've won. By golly, the Blues have done it. See you in a moment. Don't go away.
It's the
Blues section with Pat and Yuki won $425 that they won every show they were on, and we had 1,000 for a total of 1,425 big ones. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all. You were splendid. And thank you for tuning us in. This is Bert Garvey saying see you next time on Tattletales. Goodbye, everybody.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales. A Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production.